Hello, my crafty friends. It's Jelly Bean, and I think I've got enough room on my phone now so I can continue the flower tutorial that I told y'all I would come back and do. So, where I left off last time was showing y'all this satin ribbon that I glued the open edges together, and on the folded edge these are just cut fringed. So this one, like I said, my cat had a ball with, so I'm not going to use this one, but to show you a couple different things, I wanted to show you, you don't have to use satin ribbon. You can use different kinds of ribbon, and this is like a linen that has been painted to be shabby, and this is what the ribbon looks like. I'm going to show y'all a couple different flowers today, and I'm going to try to stay on my black square here so I'll be in frame. But this is just a linen ribbon that has been painted with some chalk paint to give it a shabby appearance, and I've done the same thing. You can use most any ribbon as long as it's at least 2 inches wide. Once you get smaller than that, you can still do it, but it's really hard to work with. But what I've done is I've just folded it in half and took my glue gun and took a little bead of glue and put down the edge and glued it together like this. And then I took the scissors and I frayed it. So just to give y'all an idea of how to do this, now I've got it already glued and frayed like I showed y'all, but just to give y'all an idea of how to do it, I'm gonna put this one together. This is a 1.5 inch circle that I just punched with this circle punch from Recollections. It's a 1.5 inch circle punch, and it's basically, you start on the outer edge and just put a bead of glue around there a little bit at a time, and you're gonna have glue strings. There's no way to get around that. And just start, if you're left-handed, start with the other side, just whichever's comfortable for you. And you're just gonna lay the ribbon down and kind of just fold it as you come around. When you get a little straight piece, in order to turn it, you're gonna fold it a little bit, and you're gonna do this all the way around, working in. I think my glue got cold. But yeah, my glue got cold before I talked too much, so I'm gonna get my bead of glue back on there and try not to talk as much this time, or work while I talk. But we're just gonna work it all the way around, and it looks kind of funny at first, but it will fill itself in. And if your ribbon doesn't lay all the way down, that's fine too. Now I'm just gonna flip it back and continue putting more glue around it. I'm sorry for the shaky hands, y'all. I have a lot of nerve damage in my back, and sometimes my hands just shake. No matter what I do, they still shake. So anyway, we're gonna keep going around and folding. It's a little bit stiffer with this type of ribbon than it is the satin, but that's okay, it'll still work. And I know it looks kind of wonky right now, but as you fill it in going all the way around. Now I cut this, I think, 20 inches long. Plus it's a pretty warm day here for North Carolina standards. We're 20 degrees above our normal for this time of year. We're at 70 degrees, which is crazy for January. here anyway. I feel like I'm living back in Florida. My plug from my glue gun here is on the wrong side, so I kind of have to work crossing. But you're just going to keep going around, folding your fabric, kind of putting a little pleat in it like this. And if something don't lay all the way down, you can come back and put a bead of glue in behind it. I'm gonna have to work on my fixing a drop cord or something. This reaching over is very uncomfortable. Now this is the same way that you make a lot of these flowers that I'm going to show you how to make. It's just using different materials. Now see, this is kind of sticking up, so I'm going to put a little bead of glue there and push it down just like this one. And I'm going to continue going around. And the closer you get to the center, the closer your little pleats are going to be, because you're going to have to fold it around more. Okay, I'm going to put one last bead of glue right there. Glue stick's running out too. And I'm just going to hold it there a minute. Now, this one's kind of wonky because I'm trying to do it here on the camera, but I'm going to go ahead and put a center in it. And I've used earring centers and pearl centers, and I even had one a while back, I've already used it though, that I used eyelash trim in the center. And then this one kind of got come up. I see what happened. This one, see how it's longer on this side? It didn't stick all the way, so I'm just going to fold it back, put a little bead of glue on it, and push that back in. Hold it there for a minute. And now see, you can come back and fluff your flower up. This one here needs a little bit more fluffing. Maybe this wasn't exactly the best material to use, but I love this color and I wanted a mint green flower, so this is what I used to do it. But I've made this one, and this is one out of the satin, this is one out of the satin, doing the same exact thing. Okay, that's those flowers, that's how you do that. Now, you do the same thing. I have made one using, I'm gonna burn myself where it's over with. Alright, I have made one using this trim here, and you do the same thing. It's got this little flat edge on it right here, and if you'll just glue it down on your circle and just keep going around and folding your ribbon, any kind of trim or ribbon that you have as you go around. I made this one a little bit bigger because I was making it for packaging instead of a card or something, or you could use it on a bigger card. So anyway, there's another kind of flower you can make using just a trim that you have. That trim is actually from Michael's. They had several different colors on clearance. I think I got them for $1 and something a roll, but it's the celebrated line. Okay, another flower that I showed y'all that everybody's kind of interested in are the flowers like this. and like this using the ponytail holders. Now I got these at Family Dollar, I think, or Dollar Tree. And then I have some that have the little loops that kind of look like this, just shorter. I'll bring it up closer so you can see. But they're all just ponytail holders. This one's like shabby, real, it looks like a shag rug almost. But I made this little flower out of it, and I thought it was really cute. And I've seen where a lot of people have went and bought ponytail holders, and they're gonna try it too. And I'm really excited that y'all liked it enough to do that. So I'm gonna make a couple of these just for someone who wants to see how I do them. And again, I get my 1.5 inch circle, and here's one of the ponytail holders here, and I just take and I put a big mess of glue, push my glue stick in, around the whole thing, and then I kind of pull everything up to the center it, and push down. This is how easy these flowers are, y'all. These are some of the easiest flowers I think you can make. For someone who wants to make fabric flowers, this is the way to go. See, I got my little circle on the back where I can glue it on my card or whatever. I'm going to use a pearl inside of this one, and this one I used an actual earring. And I'm just going to put some glue here in the center, enough to hold this pearl in place, like the sour cream commercials, a dollop of do ya. And then I'm just going to push my pearl to where I want it, and I have a flower. How easy was that? I don't really think you can get any easier than that. I'm gonna make one out of this one with the loops, just to show you that you know, even with a different type, see, the more you turn it in, see, this isn't anything but ribbons that they've tied together. So see the inside, but it still makes a circle and a loop. So I'm just going to kind of push it back in, and I'm going to try to push it out to where most of all the frilly part is on the outside. And I'm going to see the back of it. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my 1.5 inch circle, put some glue around it. It doesn't have to be any kind of special way, any kind of perfect, as long as it's on there. And then I'm just going to mash it down. And then I'm going to add a center. And I think on this one, I'm going to use this earring here. I think that'll look cute. I don't know what else I got. I got more pearls. I've got these flowers. No, I don't like that one on it. I got some brass buttons. Different kinds of brass buttons. Ooh, that kind of looks cool, don't it? I kind of like that. So when you're using these kind, you do not have to cut the shank off the back. Now, I've used this one before and the shank's still on it because I decided on a different one, but I'm just going to put some glue on the back of the button, stick it in the center, and mesh it down. And voila, you have a pretty flower. And then you can come and pull it around and shape it the way you want. If you got one long, you can either glue that or sew it in or cut it off, whichever way you want to do it. So there's that. Okay, now I've seen a few people who have went and got the ponytail holders like this. These are from Family Dollar, and they have these cute little circles in them. I seen somebody haul some that had hearts in them, and I was hoping to find those for Valentine's Day, but these are Valentine's colors, so I'm going to use these, even though they don't have the hearts. But these are a little bit more tricky because they are excuse me, y'all. The circle in the center is bigger than your actual paper circle. So see, these get a little bit more tricky, and the easiest way I found to do these is to take your circle. I got glue all over me and everywhere else, and we're gonna kind of put a dot of glue on this side, and then this side, this side, this side, and then go in between all the way around until we have it the way we want it. I made this one, put an earring center in it. This one was one that I made using those. So I'm going to show y'all real quick how to do one of these. And I'm just going to put a dot of glue there. Now the first one that I put down, I'm going to use where they sewed it together right here. So I'm going to lay that over to one side, and I'm going to stick it down in the glue right on the edge there. Kind of make it to where the edge of your elastic is on the edge of the paper. See, just inside the paper a little bit. And now I'm going to come directly across, and I hope y'all are going to be able to see. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so maybe y'all can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Okay. So now I'm going to put a dot of glue over here, just a little dot, and I'm going to take the elastic about in the middle of where, you know, the center of it, and I'm just going to put that there. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite sides here and here. So I'm going, and you try to make sure to glue down the elastic part and not the lacy frilly part that's included. And I find it's easier to do this with the tweezers so I don't burn my fingers. I have one of those finger things. I have many of those, but I don't particularly care for those that much. Now I'm going to turn it around on the opposite side and put a little dot of glue there. I think this would be easier if I had my glue gun on my right side, because I'm right-handed. And then just put it there. See how it's coming together? When I tried to sit here and go all the way around, it ended up being bunched up more on one side. So this is why I started doing it like this. Okay, now I'm going to come back to in the center of where I started out, and I'm going to put another dot of glue. And I'm just going to put the center of the elastic down again, trying to pull the lace out of it where it don't get in it. And see, on this, you're not going to glue down every single section of it. Some of it's going to be loose, but that's okay. Here's the side here that I'm going to put a dot of glue here in the center and pull the center of the elastic in. This is where Miss Judy's trick to clean glue off your scissors and tools comes in handy. She's got a video showing her favorite craft hack, and it was to soak your tools in acetate. So Judy is my scrapbook loft, which that works very well. Thank you, Judy, for that hack that you shared with us, because it does work very well. And I'm just going around now. I don't think it's as important to go side to side. Just go all the way around, pushing in. And you don't have to bring it all the way into the center. You just want to make sure to get it close enough to where when you put your center in, it'll cover the center hole. Excuse my sniffles, y'all. I'm so sorry. I inherited my father's sinuses. And see, I see this one's sticking out, so I'm just going to put a little dab right there, and I'm going to bring the elastic in and push it down into the glue. I just want to make sure that there's no elastic sticking out the side, because see right there, you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, hang on, I'll pick it up. See right here, as you go around and see, you can see this elastic is sticking up right here. So I want to kind of push that down. I'm going to pull the ribbon and stuff out of the way and put a little tiny dab of glue and push the elastic down. It's okay for it to be sticking up a little bit, but I don't want it obvious that this is a actual hair ponytail doodad, whatever it's called. And I'm just going to keep going around until I get it the way I like. Here's another piece of elastic that's like a loop sticking up, see there? So I'm going to glue that down. I'm just going to put a dot of glue and push the elastic down into the glue. And see, when it does, it makes little loops on each side, which that's okay, because that's how it gathers up and makes it pretty. And then I kind of go around and pull the lace and everything and pull it to where it looks even. Now see, for some reason, oh, I know why. This is where they actually sewed the end right there, and that's why this one looks a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some glue in there and push it in and down, and then I'll trim that piece off right there. Because that is the beginning, that's why it's like that. I'm going to take my scissors and kind of trim that at an angle. Okay, now take these and go around. I like these little iridescent circles that's in these ponytail holders. That's what really caught my eye and made me think I need a flower out of those, because there's just enough there to really catch your eye. And see, if there's some that looks a little bit longer, I'll see this one looks a little bit longer, so I'm going to, that's that one beginning piece again. Let me put it right there. There we go. Now, okay, now I've got to find a center, and I thought since this is a Valentine's Day, I would put red in there. I thought that kind of sparkled and looked good. And see, the center is not pretty by no means. Can y'all see in there all the glue globs? So I'm going to put some glue around the edge of the earring. This is an earring that I just cut the thing off the back. Put it in the center, mash down. Now, if this was just a regular ponytail holder without these little circles hanging out, you wouldn't have to worry about this part, but I try to make it where it looks pretty much even all the way around. And sometimes I have to go in and glue and tuck. These, like I said, these are a little bit more complicated, but that's because they're, you know, a different kind of elastic in there. So sometimes you just have to go back and fiddle with it, make it your own. But anyway, that is how I make the flowers out of these kind of ponytail holders. Now, there we go. So now we got some pretty Valentine's flowers. Alright. Now, also, the way I showed y'all to make these, to make this one, how you go around in a spiral, You can also use regular lace and do the same thing. Same thing I did here, just go around in a circle using lace. This lace here is, hang on. It is this right here. And see, you can make any size flower using that technique where you go around in the spiral, depending on what size lace or ribbon or anything that you use. Excuse me. So anyway, that's the way you make those flowers. Really easy. And I'm going to show you one more because I had a lot of people comment on the lace flower, this shabby looking flower, and it's not that hard, and I had to make a couple of them before I actually figured out how to do it. My hands are dry and it's sticking, or it's glue. I got glue on there, that's what it is. But anyway, I'm gonna show y'all how I make one of these, because I know there's a couple videos out there that I had seen, and when I tried to do it like they did it, it didn't come out right. So I just take my lace and I wrap it around my hand like 6 times. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 5 times would do, because this is a thicker lace. I think one of the secrets to making these is to use the stretchy lace, because if you use stiff lace, it doesn't do as well. And this is the stretchy lace that you can stretch. So that's one of the reasons why I wrapped it from the wrong side. Now I'm going to tell y'all how long this is, because I think it takes about a yard. Yeah, it's just a little, it's about a yard and 12 inches. But now on this lace, there's a shiny side, you can see, and it's not as shiny, so you can kind of tell the front from the back. You want to make sure your front is up. Now I'm going to make a little bit bigger than the one I showed you, so I'm going to make my loops a little bit wider here. These are about, let's see, about 5 inches from here to here. And I'm just going to keep wrapping until I get all of it wrapped around. And I have just like this. Now, I use these little tiny clear-ish rubber bands. They didn't have the completely clear ones, so I got these. They're pink and green. Okay, sorry about that. Cookie Monster was looking for cookies. Anyway, what I was saying is I couldn't find the clear ones, so I got these kind of transparent pink, green, and peachy colored ones. But they work just as well. I mean, they're not that noticeable. But you just need one, and what you're going to do is you're going to pinch it in the center on the sides that are open, not the folded sides. And you're going to put your little rubber band in the center, and I just kind of wrap it around there twice and roll it till I get it in the center. Kind of looks like a bow tie. Now, I know some of the videos say to just start whacking at it right now, and while I do kind of whack at it, I don't start out whacking at it. I try to, hopefully my scissors are going to be sharp enough, but I just come in and cut some strips and get kind of close to the center, but don't cut your rubber band. like this. And actually, I forgot to cut the ends first, but that's okay. I'll cut those. You're supposed to actually do that first, and I forgot. Cookie Monster threw me off track here. So let me go ahead and do this. And I'm going to cut this side. Go ahead and cut it. It's actually easier when they're smaller. Okay. Nope, I didn't get them all. I got one left out. Okay, now I got them. Alright, so cut the ends, and then you come back and cut little strips. And you're going to get pieces falling from the different layers, but that's okay. Now I'm going to come around to this side and cut some strips. And they don't have to be straight, they don't have to be perfect. You're making a shabby flower. So okay. Now see what you got there? And I seen one, there it is, one that's kind of long. I'm just going to cut it off. Now is when I come back and kind of just whack at it, you know, make it shabby. And I don't do it a whole lot. I do it to where it's the way I like it. And I know some people sit here and do like this. I don't want to completely destroy my flower, but see, now I got a mess down here, but that's okay. Now, because I'm using this one for packaging, I made it a little bit bigger. If I were making one this size, I would make it about 3 inches wide that I wrapped around my hand. I would make it about 3 inches. So now I have this fluffy shabby flower, and I had, I don't, let's see, I think I'm going to use this one. Now all I'm going to do is glue a center right there. See that? I might still cut some of this down. It's a little bit bigger than what I anticipated it was going to be. So I'm going, ow, hot. Got on my thumb again. Hold this down a minute. Let it stick. And then voila, you have a shabby flower. Now I think I am going to cut this one down. I don't know, I kind of like it, but then again it looks a little big. But I think the secret that everyone's not telling you is to use the stretchy lace. And you know, once you get it like this, you can pull it around and you're just moving it around in that rubber band. So put it down to where it's even. And you could glue a circle on the back if you wanted to. And there you have it. Shabby flower. Okay. That is all the flowers that I have. I will do a tutorial on some paper flowers. It's going to be a while because I have some other stuff I have to complete before I do that, because that's kind of an intense video, but I will do that later on down the line. Anyway, thanks y'all for watching. I'm sorry it took me so long to get part 2 up. It's been a little hectic here lately, but y'all have a crafty day, and I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.